morning, Agape. My name is Reverend Jason Davion Mitchell. It's my absolute joy to welcome you here to the Way of Meditation service. I invite you to lend me your open heart as I share with you our selected reading for today. Our selected reading this morning comes from the book Silence by Thich Nhat Hanh. It can be found on page 79 in the section Joyful versus Oppressive Silence. Sometimes when we think of silence, we think of an enforced restriction, such as a dictatorship shutting down freedom of expression, or an elder lecturing that children should be seen and not heard, or one member of a household forbidding others from talking about a sensitive topic. That kind of silence is oppressive and only makes situations worse. Some of us know this kind of strained silence in our own families. If parents fight, there is often a painful silence afterward, and the whole family suffers. If everyone is angry or anxious, keeping silent can feed into an increasing collective anxiety and anger. That tense, simmering kind of silence is very negative. We cannot bear that kind of silence for long. It kills us. But voluntary silence is altogether different. When we know how to sit together, breathe together, connect with the spaciousness that's available inside of us, and generate the energy of peace and relaxation and joy, that collective energy of silence is very healing, very nourishing. I invite you to join me for a word of prayer. Closing the outer eye, opening the inner awareness, we turn within, holding a deep and abiding sense of gratitude for all that life is, for this community, the Agape International Spiritual Center, for all the individuals who are actively supporting and undergirding and allowing this service to unfold. So grateful for everyone who's consciously holding this field in this moment. For all that has been dropped into this space, I'm grateful. To know God, to know that living presence which abides as my very life, to know that I am sourced and supplied fully by this presence, to know this presence is the only power, is the only thing that is ever truly happening. I know this presence as my life. I know this presence as the life of Reverend Coco as she comes forward this morning. I know it as our entire community, those who are here live and those who are watching this recording. Oh, we are established in this union of consciousness. And I'm knowing that as Reverend Coco comes forth, she is that divinely appointed one for this time. And I'm knowing that that vessel which she is pristine, and it is flowing, overflowing really, with the life, the love, the words of Spirit. I'm knowing there is no thing that is missing from this service. We are filled to overflow with exactly what is appointed for such a time as this. I give thanks for it, and let it be so now. Amen. Ashe. Thank you.
Beautiful day. Oh, there it is. Beautiful day, Agape Nation. Wonderful to see each and every one of you on the live stream, on the love streaming live through and as the Agape International Spiritual Center of Truth. I'm Reverend Coco Stewart, and I am facilitating the Way of Meditation. Always a privilege, always an honor to be here today. Reverend Dr. Michael, as you know, has been traveling for the month of March, and he will be back next Sunday, and we will hear more from him later, I'm happy to tell you. But he's left the women in charge. And it's undergirded and supported by the men. I can testify to that, and it's an awesome thing that's happening at Agape. Even while Reverend Dr. Michael travels, we continue to elevate and to expand the consciousness of the all good that God is, as you, as life, right here, right now. So today, the instruction that I received from the Infinite was to allow the luminous identity of perfect being to be anchored in form. We are each one made, of course, in the image and the likeness of the light. Light birthed us. Light was the first thing that divine creation fulfilled of itself in this dimension, in brilliance, in radiance, and to glorify the highest truth of being. So that's how Mother Earth, that's how the cosmos, why am I starting with the Earth? That's how the cosmos birthed itself through the energy of divine light. And then each individualized expression. So when I'm thinking about this with you, I'm thinking about this is how the plant kingdom, this is how the mineral kingdom, this is how the animal kingdom, all beings came forth as a fulfillment of infinite light. Of course, that means humanity came forth as light. And it came forth as a luminous presence and luminous identity. Now, in this dimension, the way that creation appears is in polarities. You know, I was shown this within my consciousness, of course. I just have to say, when I was reading Rudolf Steiner, a book by Rudolf Steiner. So a lot of people know him through his educational work that he has brought forth, Steiner schools. I knew him as a mystic. Well, I was riding the bus to work and reading his book, and he talked about creation. And I had an experience of it from reading, like, right on the bus. That means you can have mystical experiences everywhere you are. And I understood, and the spirit of my own soul revealed to me that indeed, of course, it's all one power, one presence, and one light. This is long before Agape, but I had been raised in metaphysical teaching, so I was available to it. But I got to see inwardly that as creation, as the light comes into this dimension, there is no real light and dark. There's always only the light. And what's happening is that it's yet to be realized in the places where it has not yet appeared to be. But really what I want to say is the light comes from the highest heaven consciousness of the infinite of love itself. It delineates itself in polarity so that it may have a dance of creation in this dimension. It may fulfill itself with loving presence. And then within us, we each of us has been birthed of the energy and the quality of perfect, pure, radical light, luminosity. And if you have any kind of practice, or if you are aware in certain ways, probably when you were a child, you may remember that you started noticing, perhaps, I'm going to say some things that may seem odd, but not to you, not if you're here. You may have noticed things like the grass glowed from the inside out. You may have noticed certain luminous light around, say, plants, flowers. You may notice the glow that has come up from the center of Mother Earth. It doesn't come it is, of course, from the sun, but I'm trying to give you another sense of imagery and glow. It's all around us because it is us. Then there's the divine alchemy that the light invites us into, because as we took this opportunity, each of us made a choice to incarnate into this dimension, specifically at this time, which is always interesting, I think. From every once in a while I ask myself about that, like, what am I doing here? Spirit always has an answer, as it does for you. And so the light then, what happens with the light? So we are the light. The minute we enter into this dimension and take incarnation, a lot of that light, then we're simply not aware of it. We're just not aware of it. And what becomes our journey? And sometimes children have different experiences. I remember that from a child. You probably remember that, of there being this luminous presence all around us and as us and through us. And it's that kind of light that shot through with a lot of infinite glow. What that means is, for me, it sparkles, and it has different shadings of gold and brilliant white. So there's a golden light that even now courses through your veins. It actually animates your being. It actually animates the organs of the body temple. And we're going to, this morning, as a way to allow the divine alchemy of the golden light that we are made in the image and the likeness out of, we're allowing divine alchemy then to come forward in our consciousness. Now, the reason for this, because we get caught, we get snagged in our day-to-day life. We can get snagged just in all the things that may be pressing upon you that you might have brought into this space, whether it's something with the body of your family, the body of your finances, your home, whatever it may be. It can be even, obviously, concerns about Earth herself. So there's many things that can press upon us, but we always have the power to mitigate all of our fears, all of our doubts, all of our worries, by tuning in very, very consciously, very actively, and very dynamically. I'm focusing today on the golden light. There's many ways there's so many ways that divine alchemy can take place. You know this if you've been tuning in. And what that means is I'm speaking of divine spiritual alchemy. But of course, in an older sense, alchemy was always known. It was the precursor to chemistry. And the saying has been that they were trying to change base metal into gold in order to obviously have financial gain, to have a richer life, a longer life, longevity, different things. It's the same principle, though. Divine alchemy is constantly taking place in our consciousness. Always, always. We have the choice to up-level it. We have the power to make that choice and to allow that living alchemy of light to be fully orbed. There's, again, different ways that we can have that alchemy. I know that Reverend Michael has a powerful teaching that if you are having, say, profound anger that has a lot of energy moving through it, you can walk with that. You can use how you feel about anger and literally alchemize it into being empowered by speaking a living word that moves through you of truth. So the practice is you feel the energy and you use it, and by your words, you can literally alchemize it into then being a power that works for you and on behalf of your own highest truth of being. That's one form. There's many ways. One of my children was always, I think she was always trying to practice this alchemy. She was a kid. She didn't know what. However, in my house, what I would always find was I would find containers where she had mixed certain things together to see what they would do. And I would find them everywhere. I would find them, she just was interested. This is what she was interested in. Alchemy. Now, of course, as the mom of this child doing this, I just thought, what is going on here? And the way that I got the clue about it, I love this story, I always tell this, is back in the day when I used to have clients in my home, one of my clients asked for a glass of water with some ice probably, and I went and got it, and I said, oh my God, because I opened the freezer, and here was a whole bunch of little tiny bottles with a bunch of stuff in them, and and this person, because she was a chemist herself, said she's a chemist. And I thought, oh, thank God, she's a chemist. There's something else going on here. She was seeking to practice divine alchemy. I don't know about divine, but in her world, that's what she was interested in. And that has served her well. So that is a place of exploration for all of us that we can turn within our souls, and just instead of taking everything at face value, or when we find that we feel contraction, constriction, and confinement in our thinking, the practice of a divine alchemy, which is either speaking the word for ourselves, and today we're going to actively practice this in meditation. Meditation is an alchemical practice, in case you didn't know. And that means that when we turn within, because it's a cleansing practice, everything comes up for us to be released as we sit in meditation and keep our focus, singularly focused, whether it's on the breath, a mantra, whatever is of a high order of consciousness. But when we keep our attention focused with the intention to realize more of God's presence through the holy sacred breath, what happens? What can rise up are things to be healed. What can rise up are things we don't necessarily want to look at, but yet they are seeking to be alchemized through the field and the energy of love. I remember when we first started the church, we were having Reverend Michael, of course, was doing the light visioning. This is actually back when we were still in his living room. It was that long ago. But I remember within that sphere of deep, loving stillness and silence and that collective gathering, Reverend Michael anchoring that energy, that something very old was coming up for me that I, for many years, had not wanted to think about or face. But it did come up. And of course, the reason is to be released and to let go, so it no longer had a hold of my creative attention or energy. As you know, that old stuff bubbles up. It is seeking to be let go. It's the same idea that the physical body, when you watch the physical body heal from something, an injury, you know, the body is prepared to do it. It's, to me, miraculous, because our theme this month is Rise Up to Meet Your Miracle. So you're rising up to meet the miracle of divine alchemy through the practice of meditation. I just want to finish this thought. So in the physical body, when you read about how does it heal from, say, a cut, a scrape, some kind of injury, already within the body, for a healthy body, of course, and you can also support that in wondrous ways, there already is something that's trying to rise up where once the body cleanses, then it starts laying down new tissue, new fiber, new function that's fresh. It's like a new birth, something new is happening in the body, and that never ends. And that never ends. That's what's always happening. So, you're going to join with me in the divine alchemy of a golden energy of deep truth. So just come with me on the journey. So I invite you to, as always, to sit with the spine erect, but not rigid. You may want to sit with your hands, with your palms open, to signify to your subconscious that you are willing and receptive and available. Of course, we begin by taking 3 breaths. As Reverend Michael says, let the breath hit the back of your throat. You can also, if you like, count 4 counts in, 6 counts out. So take 3 breaths at your own pace. Deep breaths. And as you take your 3rd cleansing breath, become fully present with yourself. We're going to actually have a focus in this meditation, as I've been talking about. It is the golden energy that is your identity. Oh, and in divine alchemy, you are exchanging one thing for another. So this is where anything you bring in will now can be available to you to be transformed, not by will and might, by availability. Also, as you well know, it is necessary for the alchemy to be successful to have some of what you're seeking to make, which is golden energy. But see, you are golden energy. We're just going to activate it. So you got it going on. So just take a breath and just be still for a precious sacred moment. And as you breathe in, just be aware, first of all, there's a vibrant, energetic field all around you that is pristine, golden, life force energy. It comes directly from source of the infinite, what we would call the all good, all love, all joy, all vibrancy of tone and tenor of life, God's life. It is all around you. And as you breathe, begin to allow the awareness in you that this golden energy, it breathes you. It breathes you. Maybe if you're visual, it may be any color of gold that just rises up. It can be that intense, brilliant, antique gold shot through with brilliant beams of light. Or it can be a light gold, a rose gold, whatever it is that's yours. If you are not visual, you may actually hear it. You may hear it if you're auditory. Like gongs or chimes or rushing energy. It's going to be a little different for everybody. And you actually just may feel it in the body temple. So don't worry about how it's coming to you. Just be available to it. Just allow the living light of gold presence, the highest vibration, all around you to be now breathing you. And with every breath you take, it goes deeper. It takes you deeper. And the only thing you need to do is to surrender. Let go of thinking, let go of analyzing. Just surrender into the golden, luminous energy of divine identity. It breathes you. It animates you. It flows through your veins. It beats your heart. It is your holy breath. If your attention wanders, bring it back to the golden light all around you that's breathing you. Just surrender to it. Surrender to the surrender to the infinite wellspring of golden light that moves from your golden core. Your core is golden. Go deeper into that infinite wellspring of golden energy. However you get it, however you feel it, magnify it. It's magnifying itself. as you continue to feel and to feel and sense and tune into the infinite wellspring of pure golden light from which all emergence takes place in this dimension. As you are aware that now there's a solid golden core of energy at your center, as you are aware that it does flow through you, beat your heart, enliven your consciousness, you become aware of the tangibility, the reality of it in your own heart. Just for a moment, I invite you to bring into this anything that may be wanting to rise up. You're not trying to fix anything or change anything, or just let the first thing that comes to you just float into this field of golden energy just for 30 seconds. We're just going to let it float. Again, you're knowing there's a golden energy, and if there's a health challenge or a financial challenge or relationship, anything like that, just let it be there. You're not efforting. Just let it float in the field just for 30 seconds and become more aware. Notice how much golden light is all around it. Notice the texture, the depth. Feel the surge of power. Just let it float there, just briefly. Golden energy all around. And now allow that to float away out of the field of your inner self, your inner sight, your inner knowing, and come back in and once again get deeply into the awareness of you are a golden, energetic being. The fully orbed nature of it completely has the fullness of your being. You are it. And be aware that at any moment you can use this energy to transmute, transcend, divinely alchemize any challenge. So accept that power. Accept the power. It is you. It is your golden self. Accept that. And now once again, shift that. Whereas you realize that you are the golden energetic being that has come to the light of your own pristine awareness to be, accept, experience, and express all that God is in form, all of it. Now, surrender that into the infinite and know and allow and confirm. You are allowing God to use you. God to use your golden energy to fulfill beyond your wildest dreams what has been held in mind and in store for you for all eternity. Through allowing God to use this golden energy to fulfill itself. Be with that. Just surrender it. Just surrender it. Surrender it. Just and in this way we come into a deep connection with our own divinity. We come into an awareness that the I am that I am has always been and will always be. From everlasting to everlasting, the golden energetic being that illumines the stars for infinity. This is each soul that is tuning in. This energy bathes all of our beloveds in its light. Anyone we love and anyone we don't love. Mother Earth and Father Sky, and anything that we're holding in prayer. Even now, this golden luminous identity, this energetic being of perfect consciousness has its way. So I take this opportunity to give thanks, to rest in the blessed nature of the eternal at-one-ment in God as the life of the infinite itself. And as I continue to behold the infinite through the soul of golden energy of everyone who tunes into the sound of my voice, whether now or on the archives or whenever it may be, it is this powerful golden light that declares itself into form with all love, all joy, all heart, all soul. So I bless each one. I give thanks for each one, moving forward through this day, rightly attuned to the highest order of presence. In gratitude, I release the living word of love. It is God's own, for its own creation, as each one here, and I know it is so. Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, beloveds. Thank you for tuning in. And now is our time of conscious giving. Now is the time when we allow ourselves to be in whole soul gratitude for anything that was happening in this service or anything you've ever gotten from Agape. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. We love and bless you. But this is the time to gather our attention around the givingness of the infinite that moves through us. So begin to consider your tithe, your gift, your offering, your donation, however you may want to call it, whatever it is for you. So I just take a moment and I bless the offering, grateful that it is God always giving back unto itself, pressed down and running over with deep and profound appreciation. So the offering is blessed, and I let it be. Amen. So there's different ways you can give. They're coming up there on your screen. Of course, there's our wonderful QR code, which is fabulous. You can hold your phone up and it will lead you to the donation, lead you right to it, yes? So if you're on Reverend Michael's Facebook page, if you're on Agape's Facebook page, you can use this. If you are on YouTube, I believe you can use this also. If you're on Agape's website, you know you're on a safe, secure website, you can push the donate button. You can text give, I'm looking, GIVE, to 424-321-6243. And again, any of these you can set up as a one-time, or you can set it up to give on a regular basis. You can mail in your donations. I know the address was just here. You could make it out to Agape International. Reverend Michael always loves reading the notes, the cards, the letters. You can mail it to Agape International Spiritual Center. Let's see. I just have to see the address to make sure I have it clearly. 8549 Wilshire Boulevard, Suite 1156, Beverly Hills, 90211. I think that's all the ways. There's also auto tithe that you can sign up for, should you feel inspired to do that. You know, so just continue to prepare your offerings. But you know what? Let's hear from Reverend Michael. First of all, we have a couple of beautiful photos that he sent us. There he is. So he's been, as you know, speaking in India at the International Yoga Festival. I suspect he's on his way back right now, even as we speak. And then we have a video from him. Can't hear it.
Peace and dynamic blessings to you, my Agape family. And as you know, as I love to say, life is good. Because there's only one life. That's the life of God Almighty, all beauty, all joy, and all intelligence coursing through us. And you have come to Agape today in order to be reminded and re-energized and reactivated around that sacred truth. This month, we're rising up to meet the miraculous, that expanded awareness of that which is true about us, that we may anchor it on earth as it is in the highest heaven that's within us, of course. And today we have our beloved, the Reverend Julie Moret. What's your what author? Teacher, bringing the magnificent message today. And we have our magnificent Agape International Choir under the direction of Mary Ann Lewis, bringing the dynamic musical soundtrack. And you are in the process of celebrating Women's History Month. You're in the process of celebrating springing forward with your life as we move into a dynamic spring frequency. And you're standing in an awareness that this may be the most important day of your life. The day in which you wake up, become more conscious than you've ever been before. My trip to India has been magnificent. It's been intense. It's not like a vacation. It's very intense, but very powerful, very expanding, very opening. I'll see you next week. Thank you for supporting, attending, praying for, and holding the community in prayer while I was traveling, and continue to do so. Continue to support yourself. Continue to be in service to God. Love, peace, harmony, and wisdom and joy. Continue to just bask in the awareness that you are so loved that it breaks you free from any sense of limitation. I'll see you next week. Have a great day.
Beautiful. I always love hearing from Reverend Michael. And now we have some highlights. The voice of Agape, Victor Dickerson, practitioner, is coming forward to highlight some of what's going on at the center. Victor.
Thank you, Reverend Coco. Good morning, Agape. We have a few highlights for you today, and please visit the Agape website, agapelive.com, for our weekly offerings, and for more details on all of these announcements. All times listed are Pacific Daylight Savings Time. This week's episode of Take Back Your Mind podcast features Natasha Graziano, a top-ranked mindset coach, motivational speaker, and host of the Law of Attraction podcast, which has gained over 100 million streams and was ranked among the top 10 podcasts to download in 2021 by Influence IV magazine. Catch their conversation as they discuss Natasha's new book, Be It Until You Become It, The Law of Attraction Explained Through Neuroscience and Ancient Wisdom. Rev will also answer your life question of the week and guide you in meditation. Watch or listen to Take Back Your Mind with Michael B. Beckwith on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. And remember to subscribe to receive alerts when new shows drop each Wednesday. If you're seeking spiritual insight into your relationships, finances, health, life purpose, or world events, email Reverend Michael at podcast@michaelbeckwith.com. And your question may be featured as the life question of the week on the Take Back Your Mind podcast with Michael B. Beckwith. Remember to share your first name and location. For your continued spiritual growth and unfoldment during the week, remember, Agape has daily morning prayer and noon meditation at Agape's Facebook Live page. For your physical health, remember to get your Adaptogen Superfood Greens and vitamin D3, K2 by going to Nutririse. Look for Adaptogen and get yours today. Remembering we are vibrational beings, tune in to SOAK, Sound Frequency Therapy, which offers clinically proven effective healing protocols. And now SOAK has a magnificent new immersion program featuring Reverend Michael, Limitless Living, 21 days of being immersed in teachings and practices by Reverend Michael. You know you're interested in this, so go to soak.com, use the code AGAPE50, AGAPE50, and receive a 7-day free trial and 50% off all frequencies for the life of the subscription. Sign up today to soak up Reverend Michael's new immersion program, Limitless Living, and get your soak on. Agape Espanol is in session again and invites you to join us every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. for meditation and affirmative prayer exclusively in Spanish on Agape's Facebook page. Agape is open. Join us each and every Sunday for 11 a.m. meditation, 11:30 service. Love to see you in person. If you attend in person, please be mindful of our neighbors in the non-metered parking areas around the theater. Only permit parking is available in those spots. As always, all of our services are live streamed. Agape Prayer Ministry is here for you in the middle of the night, early in the morning, on your lunch break. 365 days a year and 24 hours a day, our licensed spiritual practitioners are available. We know the truth about your life and hold you in the reality of your being, beyond all conditions, beyond circumstances. If no one answers, please leave a message and a practitioner will call you back. Call the Agape Prayer Ministry at 310-348-1270 or email us for a written prayer at prayer@agapelive.com. You are not living this thing called life alone, and we are here to support your realization of the truth as your very life. Thank you. Peace and blessings, Agape.
Thank you so much, Victor. Beautiful. So that's what's happening. Stay tuned for more coming up. Let's see. Be sure you come back at 8:30 or 11 a.m. service. Of course, as Dr. Michael said, Reverend Julie Moret is our speaker, and the Agape International Choir is here. We're going to have a chant. So right where you are, if you would like to stand up for our chant, and then we will have the benediction.
I'm tired of the guilt that brings me pain. Now is the time for me to let go of the shame. The past behind me, I see anew. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change.
So how grateful I am for this opportunity to once again know the living shift, change, the divine alchemy that shifts any lower level vibrations to the highest vibratory tone of real life, real empowerment, true grace of the soul. It is good to stand in a united state of agreement, to call forth and bless everyone who is tuning in now or later, and to give way and to give thanks. This is a bright, beautiful day that glorifies God in the highest. Divine spiritual alchemy is everywhere through the day with love and joy of heart. So in gratitude, I release the word and I let it be. Amen. Love to you, Agape Nation. I'll see you in the next two services. Dr. Michael will be back next week. Enjoy.